Hello, I'm fine, thanks to God. Now today I will present you the basics of C++ programming, chapter 3, part 2, iteration, looping, repetition statements, under control statements section. What is it? And the theoretical concept and it is practical session. We will cover both two sessions. Now from the beginning, what is control statement? As we discussed in the previous video, conditional statement is the first one, the second one is iteration, looping, repetition statement, and the third one is jumping statements. Now I prepare 3 videos. For the first one, conditional statements, I already upload. Now today's session is iteration, and the third jumping statements I will prepare and upload next session. Now from the 2 days video, we only focus the iteration, looping, repetition statements. Good. Iteration or looping statements is a repeatedly valued statement or a whole block of statements with increment, decrement of some data in order to arrive at a result. Repeated evaluation of statements is called iteration and recursion. However, iteration is a looping. So now today we will see detailedly what iteration or looping statements mean. Now C++ provides several types of iteration statements. From this, the first one is for loop, and the second one is the while loop statement, and the third one is the do while loop statement. So based on their scenario, or depends on the problems of you so you want to solve, it have its own advantage and disadvantage, and both of the 3 statements have the same function to repeatedly execute some block of code blocks or body of statements enclosed by a certain or closed brace. Good. Now for the first time, or the first repetitive statement or types of loop is a for loop statement. For loop iterates a section of C++ codes under a fixed block of statements or lines of codes, and for the loop runs as long as test condition is true. Test condition is true, it runs again and again until the condition becomes false. For example, as you see this block diagram for loop expression, so previous statement in the program may be above this, and from this line there may be initialization of some variables, and this is the condition that you want to check. If this condition trues or satisfies the given condition, then the execution of the code under that block of square brace is executed until it trues, and this block of code executed and update some variable of this the variables found under this condition. So then finally it executes again and again, tests the condition again and again. Finally, when the condition becomes false, the execution terminates automatically out of breaks and out of the brace and go to the termination of the execution or the statement. So this looks like how for loop works. So for int, condition, increment or decrement, as you see this, then some statement is executed. For example, this is some for loop statements. For example, print numbers found between 1 through 10 stands output. Solution using for loop include int main, int counter, or increments or some value of a variable. For counter equals to 1, counter less than or equal to 10, counter plus plus. Cout counter. We will see this in practical session using my code block IDE. And then the second one for loop, how it works is counter first initialized using this for keyword, then the counter, the condition checks here and increments the value of the counter, then update some variable under the condition that it satisfies. So this is how it works. For example, as you see here, using std int main for int I is equals to 1 up to I less than or equal to 100 I plus plus. If I modulus 2 is equal to 0 means even if the value of I is even, shout I. When we will see it in practical session also. Then the second one is the while loop statement. As you see here, the diagram test here, there is a statement, again test the condition. If true, test statement is executed. Then if the test is false, it is out of the condition automatically. Syntax: while conditional expression statement. It implies the statement following it will be carried out as long as the conditional expression evaluates true. That means it is more than 0. For example, while I less than or equal to n, sum is equal to sum plus I. Post increment, by the way, this is post increment. Then shout sum 0 to 10 is sum. This also included under my practical session. Okay, let us open the core block here, and we will see the in practical together. Okay, then the process is repeated again and again until I is equals to 10, because if I is equals to 10 it also works, but if I plus 10 plus 1 11, I 11 less than 10 false. Yes, it is automatically out of the brace. So after the loop is sum over, the total sum is 55 will printed. Problem continued using a while loop. Int main int counter equals to 1, counter less than or equal to 10, counter plus plus return 0. Well, the same problem. I will show you this in practical session, the same as that of the previous one. I start from 1 up to 10 until the condition is true. The output also displays the value of I. If I is 11 less than or equal to 10, it is false. Yes, 10, it is false. So the execution is out of the brace and return this one, return 0. Good. Then the next one also calculate the average of 5 numbers using this. Followed average int number count 0 sum 0 from the beginning, and while counter less than 5, shout enter the number, cin number, sum is equal to sum plus number, shout counter plus plus until counter equal to 5. If counter is equal to 5 less than 5 false. Yes, then it is automatically out of this brace and calculates the next statement or the next execution or line of code. So yeah, from here, and so the average of this 5 number is this value, average value, then return 0. Good. So the next one is what will be the output of this. For example, counter equals to 1, counter less than 5, right? So I love ice cream, counter plus plus until I is equal, counter is equals to 5. It displays 5 times I love you, I love ice cream 5 times. Counter 1 ሲሆን counter 2 ሲሆን 3 4 5 እስኪሆን ድረስ ዲስፕላይ ያደርገዋል ማለት ነው። What about this one also? Counter is equal to 0 while counter less than 5, shout I love you. What's the difference, by the way? From here counter plus plus, but here there is no counter plus. So this is once printed, once first time, then counter is 0, so counter less than 5. Actually it is non terminated running time. There is an error because counter should be increment or some condition set to terminate this while loop, because if 0 always 0, the execution is unlimited time or non-terminated loop. So counter should be here incremented counter. Yes, counter plus plus is necessary here unless the execution is unterminated loop. Good. Then the third one, the do while statement. As you see here, in short, from this expression or graph, do keyword here, do starts the body of the bodies of the statements under this blocked brace, whatever the condition it has. So first time single statement or compound statements may be executed, but the do keyword executes this block of statements first time or as the first time, then checks the condition, and while keyword here checks the condition. If the condition is true, it goes to this and starts the execution again and again until this condition is false. So if this condition becomes false, then the execution of this block of statements or body of codes or line of codes is automatically break and out of this break and continues the execution of the program, the next line of the while loop. I think it is clear. Good. As you see here, this as an example, include string dotage into main and counter is equal to 1, shout counter plus plus do while loop, while counter less than or equal to 10, return 0. First time loop body here is executed first time before checking the condition, then check the condition. Executed here one loop of the body, then check the condition, the second task. If this condition is true, go back to the body of the statement, third task, until it false, it becomes the condition false, the execution is continue. If the condition is false, automatically it terminates or out of the condition or the body of the statement and stops the execution. This is what it looks like. For example, if counter is equal to 11 from 1 up to 11, the condition is true, so the execution is continue. If I is equals to 11, the condition is false and terminates the program. Good. I will show practical using code block. For the sum of any number of integers entered by the user, int number sum 0, car loop response do enter the number, cin number, sum equals sum plus number, shout do you want to do again, yes, if you press the character yes or no. Cin loop response if or while loop response is equals to y, or the entered character is y, the sum is also calculated again and again. If this condition is true, back to while loop, this brace and continues the execution. If this is false, out of y different from this character, then the value of this is printed and out of or stops the loop execution. Good. I will show you in practical. Print lowercase alphabet car is equals to a, do counter ch c plus car plus plus, while car less than or equal to z, continue this, unless if differs from this, stop or terminate the execution. While versus do while. Int main counter, as you see here, the condition is tested here, the condition is tested here before the body of the statement or block of code, before execution of the block of code, but here block of code is executed before condition is checked. The difference here, counter is equals to 1, counter is equals to 1, no difference. Next condition is checked here, but the condition is checked in case of while loop at the end of the block of the statement is executed. This is the difference for what while loop versus while loop is differ from. In while loop, the condition is checked first, but in the while loop, the condition is executed after the block of the code is executed one time, then next time the condition is checked. This is the difference what it looks like. Good. Then the next one is in practical session. Up to this, thank you to watching this video. Then the next one is the practical session. Open your code block and open an existing project already. Just this is this part 2 project. In case of limitation of time, just I already show you the written code how it looks like. Int main, first you enter the preprocessor input output stream file, header file, then add the using namespace std standard namespace in the library. Then int main, this is the main function that you want to it allows you to execute or run the program. Any function that didn't have main function, it is not runnable. I think it is clear. In order to run a program, main function should be included. So the main function is the first one. Int sum equals to I 0, I is equals to 1. This is the declaration of variables. As we know, variable is declared using characters or numbers or using underscore sign. So the sum and I is the variable and assign the value 0 and 1, while it is better to charge my laptop and continue our presentation practical session. Good. Yes. So it looks like how it works. The practical session. I will put all codes of this laboratory on the description box, and you can run by your own, because you should be first include or download and install code block IDE to practice this C++ program. So this is all about the while loop, the for loop, and the do while loop. This is the while loop, this is the while loop, and this is the for loop. How it works, please run and see what it looks like. Then the next one is this is the do while loop, how it works. You can read more and search more, but it is clear if you follow this video by your own. You can practice, and the next one is the jumping statement. It is not necessary for you at this time. So the only practical session covered by this chapter 3 part 2 control statement under control statements, iteration, iterativity, or in continuous looping statements is the 3 basic looping statements: for loop, while loop, and do while loop in C++. Thank you for today's video. Please like, share, subscribe my video. Thank you again and again. Please